What's going on, everybody? It's Northeast Kingdom. Today's Wednesday. You got me, Reacts, or Isaiah, and I got, of course, my man with me, Christian.
What's good?
What's poppin'? What's poppin'? So, we're going to try to do some uploads more regularly on Wednesdays, along with Sundays, of course, and then maybe get some more content out on YouTube and Instagram in the following weeks.
Yeah, we recorded this last Sunday, but we're having a lot of issues. Like the program keeps exiting out and it's not letting us really touch anything with that audio. But we recorded for probably 2 hours straight.
It was a
And
good one.
yeah, but I think I think the file's too large that it won't load long enough for us to be able to get in there and cut it up.
Mm. Which it was what was it, 110 minutes, wasn't it?
It was an hour 45 minutes, so I don't know.
Jeez. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one. But
Yeah.
it seems like the file was too big or whatever. I did try to get in, but it wouldn't let me in, so anyways, like I said, today's Wednesday, so we got some storytelling to do and a little ad lib too. I don't know if you want to talk about your day today, Christian, as well.
Oh, do you want to start with that or do you want to end with that?
We'll end with that.
We'll end with that. All right.
Me being not responsible, my phone's at 15%, which it should definitely last. But yeah, we'll end with that. I think that'd be something to end off with.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Once I got your message, I was like, damn.
Yeah, like I said, I tried to send that voice message, but I guess it didn't work. But I'm also in North Springfield with like no service too, so it probably didn't actually send the file. It probably just tried to and then just told you. Like that's all it loaded was just the fact that it was a voice message.
That's all it said. It was like attachment 1 voice message, and it just was a text. There was no drop bar, no drop down, nothing. I was like, nice. I didn't even like. What do
Like,
I
oh,
do with this
appreciate
information? Like, thank you. He tried to get a hold of me, and you're not gonna tell me.
it.
Fucking junk.
That's how like those ads for like certain apps be. They'll be like saying all this shit you can do, and you click it and you can't do any of that on the app without paying. That's like that sort of deal where it's like it tells you all this shit, you click it and it's like, yeah, but no.
Motherfucking phone.
You don't get
phone catfished me. Phone catfished me, bro.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, I got it, but I couldn't do anything with it.
But no, today we're gonna tell you guys about a
Spontaneous road trip.
yeah, I was gonna say impromptu.
Little road trip.
Yeah. What? We left the house at what, 10:30?
11?
Oh, 11. Well, you probably got the call at 10:30
I
and then
Yeah. I think it was about 11. I don't think it was no later than 11 though.
mhm.
Then we left. So, leading up to it, I mean, it was just gonna be another weekend for us, hang out at the house, have a couple drinks, and we all had our Xboxes,
Yeah.
and we were playing, and I had a game room set up. So we were all in there hanging out. I forget what we were playing at the time, but we had been in there for a while. We actually didn't we have pizza and shit?
Yeah, no, like
Again?
we were chilling.
Yeah, it was just a normal weekend. So we were just hanging out, and then one of my coworkers hits me up. I was like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And I was like, "Oh, just hanging out." And he was like, "Well, did you want to come over to my buddy's house in New York? You know, we're all hanging out, fucking having a good time drinking." And we were pretty bored, so I'd asked Christian. I was like, "I mean, would you want to go?" And he was like, "Where is it?" And I was like, "Fuck, it'd probably be a good question." So I asked him where it is, and it's in
Granville.
Granville, New York, which from here was about, how long did it take? 2 hours?
No, it took like an hour and a half.
It felt like 2 hours because at one point
Well, I remember because we made it
it
there
felt
by not long after 12 o'clock.
right. Yeah, so like an hour and a half away, and my coworker messaged me back, and I was like, all right, so it's about an hour and a half away, and we kind of like bounced the idea off each other for a little while. We're like, oh, we could go, but like, why leave? Kind of a
Yeah,
deal.
it's
But
already
then
late as
again,
shit. But we had no better
yeah,
plans.
there was nothing else going on, and we're like, fuck it. Uh, the conclusion was we're just gonna go. So we packed both of our bags, and we just got in the car and we headed over there.
Yeah. And actually, that was my first time meeting him. So
Yes,
remember, we pulled up and he's standing outside waving his arms like a fucking idiot.
he was just standing at the top of the driveway. Which, mind you, this place was the way to their house. There was the first road before you get to their road. It was a pretty straight shot. There was nothing, and if I remember correctly, I didn't have any service until
Yeah,
we
and it was
started to
hella
get close to him.
sketch.
It was just basically open fields and everything. Unlike most people think that most of New York tends to be like a city, but upstate is actually a lot of farmland. So it was pretty much flat all the way through, and we started getting closer. And I mean, it was sketch because it's late. We don't know where the fuck we're going. You know, we're just
Yeah.
basing this GPS, which I at that point had no service on. So I'm just kind of trusting whatever its last calculation was. Yo, what's up? You're listening to Northeast Kingdom, and we're actually going to tell you something that's pretty cool. You listen to us through Anchor. It's free. If you haven't heard about it, there's tools that you can use that you can record and edit from your phone or your laptop. It'll distribute the podcast for you. So it'll be heard on Spotify, Apple, a bunch of platforms. You can make money from it. You know what I'm saying? If your pocket's a little shallow, that's what it is. Just be sure to download it through the Apple Store, or you can go on anchor.fm and get started right there.
And Google Play.
And Google Play.
Anyway, we we get back. Oh, we don't get back. We get to New York finally, and it's a bit after 12 o'clock, and we pull up and he's meeting everybody else besides his coworker. But I hadn't met any of them, so I was just meeting all of them for the first time. And right off the bat, pretty much, I say what's up to his coworker. He's talking with his coworker outside, and we just split up right off the bat. Both of us at a brand new house, don't know nobody, and
Very, very rare for that to happen too, by the way.
very rare.
Everybody.
Yeah, actually, if you see us at a party, we're most likely
Within 5 feet, for sure.
which is weird too, because like I don't know why it's always been like that. It just always is. Like it's like a just in case something goes down. Like I know I got somebody like within arm's reach.
Right, that knows what's going on.
Yeah,
It's just always how it's been.
yeah,
We're just like that. Got to make sure. But anyway,
yeah. So I go inside and I'm saying what's up to everybody in their garage basement, kind of a deal. And they have a pool table, darts, a bunch of speakers set up with music playing, and he had some really nice bikes in there. So
yeah, beautiful house. Beautiful
beautiful
house.
fucking house, yeah. So I'm saying what's up to all of them, and I sit on one of the couches, and I'm just like pretty much just shooting the shit with a bunch of random ass people. And I keep looking over at the bike, so the owner of the house is like, "Hey, do you want to see it?" So I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So we walk over, he peels the cover off of it, and we're just talking. And then I think you walked in not long after that, because I think you walked in when I was standing by the bike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you walked in, and you and Andy were like, "I gotta take a shit."
Yep. Which that bike, yeah, no. This guy had been riding motorcycles for a long time, so he had a couple bikes, and actually one of them was his son's that he got for his son,
Oh
and
no
that was
shit.
also a really nice bike. The blue one,
Yeah,
blue and white. I think it was a Buell. It was a Buell, a little bit bigger bike, but his was really nice though. The owner
his
of the
was
house
nasty. Yeah.
was extremely nice. So he was just kind of showing us what's up because my coworker also rides motorcycles, and so he was like, "Hey, check out these bikes. You know, he'll show you."
Yeah, because
So
he asked me, he's like, "Are you into motorcycles?" I was like, "I don't ride or anything." I was like, "But anything with like a motor and wheels, I'm into. Like, they're fun."
fuck yeah, fuck
But
yeah.
yeah, for most of the night, actually, we were more or less just like kind of on our own. So I'll let you kind of tell a lot of like what you were doing first.
Well, we get there and I said what's up to my coworker, and I kind of just asked him, all right, is it all right if I leave my car right here? Whatever. Here are my keys or this, that, the other thing, because we had planned on staying the night. Obviously, it's already 12 o'clock. There was no way we were coming back.
No.
So I talked to him for a little while, and then he kind of introduced me to the owner of the house, because we're staying at their house, so it'd only be right for me to meet him. Met him and his wife, both really good people. And there was a couple other people there. Funny as shit.
Yeah, they were.
These guys were. So he introduced me to everybody pretty much, and at some point he also introduced you to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, he introduced me right off the bat to everybody,
yeah. He was like,
which is
"This is
weird because it's gonna come up later in the story, but I could have swore to God that was his sister, not his girl.
yeah, I know." Okay, so yeah, so he introduces me to everyone that he knows, and so I was like, "All right, cool," and everyone's nice. We're all just hanging out at this point, shooting pool, having a couple beers and shit, and there's some people smoking, and we're talking about, I mean, you name it, fucking going to bars and them getting in fights, or talking about motorcycles and this, that, the other thing. And people are going in and out. Some people are smoking. Some people are going to the bathroom. What the fuck ever. And I was kind of just hanging out, talking to everybody. And I do remember at one point I was outside. I think I was smoking a cigarette. I was talking to my coworker and the owner about his house, and actually I think it was about his son and his car. He had a pretty nice Mazda, I think it was. But anyway, so we're talking about that, and I turn around. Now, mind you, this house is I don't know what you would call it. When you pull up to the house, the garage is obviously the bottom floor, right? So I guess you call it the basement.
Yeah.
And then there's another floor above that. But on the sides of the house, there's a bank. So they have those kind of half windows that are just above the ground. And I had walked away from them to take a piss. And I'm looking in this half window down into the basement. Now, mind you, I basically almost forgot that Christian was with me. But I see Christian as I'm pissing. And I don't think he quite sees me yet. Now, he is standing in front of this woman. And her shirt is completely raised in front of his face.
No. It was when you walked up. Oh, unless you saw it when she was showing me her tattoo. Yeah.
Yeah, when she was.
I didn't really show up that early.
Yeah, no, I was taking a piss, and I had seen that you were looking at something, and I was like, okay, this is a problem, because I was like, yeah, they're getting a little too close. I don't know if this woman is with anybody or whatever. This is a brand new house to both of us. This is not. So I take my piss. I know you're not gonna do anything stupid, so I was like, I got time. So I take my piss, and then I make my way back inside, and you're still talking to her. And in my head, all I knew was, let's not touch anybody tonight. Let's not do that. That's the only thing that was going through my head. And I walk up to you, I was like, so you feeling that? And he was like, nah. She was just showing me her tattoo. And now he's trying to like play it off. Like,
I'm modest, bro. I'm just chilling.
I'm just, he was like, I'm just hanging out. She was just showing me her tattoo. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, okay, you try to get some of that, just what guys do. And I kind of just let it go from there, let it go after that, because I mean, everything went back to normal after that. And what is that? What was really going on, or?
Well, how it started was we were playing pool and their basement got hot as shit. Cause I remember everybody at one point took their jackets and sweatshirts off because it was like freezing outside, but his basement must have been like fucking 75 degrees.
Mm.
And I took my sweatshirt off and I have that rosary tattoo on my forearm. And she saw that and she said something about it, and I was like, yeah, no, I got it because I just had like this lucky rosary that I don't wear anymore, so I just got it tattooed on me. And we just started talking about tattoos, bless you. And while we're talking about tattoos, she's like, yeah, I have one. And mind you, this girl had like a cardigan on, the whole night, and it went down to like almost past her knees, you know. And so we're talking by the pool table, and everybody's getting ready to go outside and have a cigarette, but we're still mid conversation, and I can see them all leaving. And Isaiah looks at me before he leaves, and he kind of just gave me this look, like kind of like an "Are you coming?" kind of a look. And then he turned around and started talking with them and walked out. And then when he came back in, it was just me and her by the pool table because they all went outside. And you poked your head back into the door at one point. And that's when she was facing away from me and had her cardigan pulled up and everything, showing me her tattoo. But she was facing
Oh,
you, so you
yep.
couldn't see anything of what she was actually showing me. And
Right.
you just gave me this look of like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like, bro, that's a no,
Because she had
no.
a tattoo that came up her back. And
Yeah.
yeah, so she lifted up her cardigan, whatever, shows me that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. We're just shooting the shit. And it was like shooting the shit, but it wasn't like it
Like
wasn't
a
in that way.
100%
Yeah, so it wasn't
formal.
in that way, but it was kind of like, it definitely wasn't formal, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I know, bro.
But
Oh,
yeah, so then he goes back outside, whatever, and we're still talking. And then when you came to the window, or at least when I saw you at the window, when you like actually walked up to it,
mhm.
um, she was asking me about my tattoos or whatever. And my two tattoos on my chest are like pretty high up on my chest, so I can just pull my collar down and show you my tattoos most of the time. And she was like, "Do you have a problem with lifting up your
Oh,
shirt or something like that?" And I was
I
like,
remember this.
"Oh,"
Okay.
I was like, "This is taking a turn that I didn't really expect it to go that way, but at the same time, it was like as a dude, you're almost hoping it does. So when it does happen, you're like,
In the
what
back
do
of
I
your
do?
mind,
What's what
yes.
I'm saying? Yeah. So when it does finally happen, you're like, what do I do here?
Right.
So I was like, nah, obviously not. Like I really don't give a shit. And she goes, oh, okay. I went to pull up my shirt to show her my tattoo, and when I went to pull it up, she grabbed it and pulled up instead. And I was like, I'm being raped. I was like,
This is where it happens.
so then when you walked up to the window, was she looked at them, and while she's looking at them, she's kind of like,
Touching
she's
them.
touchy feely, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
And right when I saw you at the window, is when I put my sweatshirt back down, but she still had her hand like on the pocket of it,
Right.
like pulling it down. And I thought you thought she was like reaching for me, and that's why you looked, because you came to the window and then ran away laughing, like you were like a middle schooler all over.
I was like, oh, he about to get it. He about to get it.
Because you saw me and your face looked like you panicked for a second, and then you started laughing and ran away. And I was
Well,
like,
that's
how
because
old is he?
when I looked at you and I saw what was going on, I kind of like I thought it was a little bit funny, so I smiled, and then you kind of shook your head like nah, and then you smiled back, and I just died, bro. Then I just kind of walked away. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
And then I thought it was one of the dudes there's sisters though.
Yeah,
Turns out,
as did I. I did too for a long
but
time.
it turns out that it was not one of their sisters, it was actually one of their girlfriends. And the guys we're hanging out with are like not the kind of people you really want to piss off, I guess.
Yeah.
And the whole night though, like you can't even blame that shit on me. Because the whole night, like the kid who's her boyfriend would be talking to me and shit, and we were actually like shooting the shit a lot that night. He was funny as shit,
He
and
was, yeah.
he was a good guy. So we're just talking a lot, and every time we were talking, she would stand between us and start talking to me and shit like that, like cut him off and everything. So the whole night, it was kind of like not my fault. I was
Right.
just,
Well, then again, I mean, he didn't really say anything because I
well, he
was
didn't either.
observing.
So
I
that's
was
why I was like,
observing
he's
this
got to
for the
be like
most part.
a sibling. You know what I mean?
Right. I was observing this for the most part. Um, I did hear, like, I thought the same thing, though. I can say that. I thought it was his sister because their conversations and their stories didn't really didn't add up to them being together more
Yeah,
or less than them being siblings. So I just, in my head, I just automatically assumed that they were just siblings,
yeah.
not so much together or engaged or whatever. Um, so in observing that, I was like, well, it's not a huge deal. But then come to find out later down the line, like, oh, all right, that's definitely not her sister, bro.
Yeah, well, I remember even just the next day
Or
you were
his
talking to
sister.
me about it, and you were like, "So what was up with that?" And I was like, "Nothing. I was just chilling." And you were like, "Bro, that's that dude's girlfriend." And I was like, "No, it's not. It's his sister." And you were like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah." And you looked at me and you were like, "Nah." Like you were just like, "Nah, it wasn't, bro." Like,
Nah, dog. No.
but yeah. So then after that, we all started like mingling as a whole group again because everybody came back inside,
Right.
and that was pretty much the end of all that.
Yeah.
But besides when, because I had my Aztec sweatshirt on, and at one point we went outside to have ciggies, and one of
I
the
think
guys
we.
said something and was like, "Who has weed?" And I was like, "I got you," because I've
Mm,
been waiting for someone to ask that question. Because I
I
don't
was
like
like,
showing up to someone's
Christian.
house. Well, the thing is, like, I don't
Christian
like
got
showing
weed.
up to someone's house and just start doing it or like bring it up first or anything. Because I feel like I'm like pushing it on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll be more held
Just out
back.
of respect,
Mind you, we showed up
especially
at
at a new
night.
house.
Yeah, we showed up at night. Yeah, I was already pretty blissed by the time we showed up because I was pretty like feeling pretty good at your house. That's why you drove there.
Right.
And
And we just took whatever we had left with us. I mean, it
pretty
wasn't
much,
much, but he was like, "Don't worry about it. We got enough here." So we just took whatever little we had left.
yeah. But since it was nighttime, I didn't realize that he had pot plants up the side of his house.
Tall, bro. They're the tallest pop plants I've ever
Huge,
seen.
huge. But at night, it just looked like a normal ass bush in the dark and shit. So I was like, didn't think anything of it. So when they finally asked, I was like, hell yeah. And everybody who was there was like, we all knew you did. And I was like, damn, bro, it's that obvious. And they were like, who else wears an Aztec sweatshirt besides people who smoke weed? And I was like,
Literally.
I can't argue with that.
Nah.
The logic is
Looking
impeccable.
looking wicked, wicked potheadish with
Wicked
the
sus. Yeah.
wicked stuff.
So then when we ended up smoking that same girl, I remember they all said something like, oh, a lot of us don't really smoke weed. There's only like a couple of them or one of them who did. And she said something about she doesn't really. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I just didn't think she was going to smoke. So then I packed the bowl or whatever and get everything ready. And when I got ready to pass it, she was like up my ass to my left. 'Cause I remember I went to turn to her boyfriend because I thought he was gonna smoke, but he ended up not. But
I remember that.
I went to turn to
I
him,
actually
and she was
very
like,
vividly
she
remember
said
that.
something. I can't even remember what the hell she said to me. To be honest,
It was
I was
something
not.
pretty borderline though.
It was very borderline because I turned with the bowl, and she said something to me like wanting the bowl, but like flirting at the same time. I guess
Yeah, I didn't know how to feel about that. I
I
do
didn't know what to
remember
say.
I remember
I
the
didn't know what
feeling
to
that I
say.
got when it happened, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But I felt uncomfortable, and like the only
Because they
people that I
left
really
like
know there
30
was my
minutes later.
coworker.
Yeah, and they left 30 minutes after that point. So I was like, all right, I crossed a line.
Yeah, nah, that Wicked wasn't you, bro. Wicked
Nah,
wasn't you.
nah, it was not me. But it was just like that awkward feeling of like, I'm not in the wrong, but I was like an
But what led
accessory.
up to this? An
But
accessory. Yeah,
yeah,
it was something that was said that
an
I
accessory
was.
to my own murder.
Yeah, I was. I can't remember what the words were, but I remember I just kind of like looked around to see if anybody else heard what I heard,
Hmm.
and I just remember kind of a uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah. No, because I just remember I was pretty trashed by that point, but I remember looking around after I gave her it, like the bowl.
Hmm.
And I remember looking around and everybody else was looking at everybody else too for a second, like, did we just hear what we heard? And that's when it
Yeah,
finally clicked. Because at first, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird for her to say that, but just gave her it, like, whatever, I guess. And I saw everybody else's faces, and I was like, okay, no, I heard what I heard, and it definitely was not as normal as she played it off to be. Like,
no,
at
not at all.
first, I was like, maybe that's just the way she talks. You know what I mean? Like, maybe
Yeah,
I'm just high and thinking about it too much. So I was like, whatever, and just handed her the bowl and saw everybody else's faces, and I was like, okay, I'm not bugging. She said something, and we should probably go home.
yep. Or at least go to bed for sure. I was looking. I
We
was
were the
trying to look
last
for.
ones.
Yeah, yeah, we were the last ones. I was kind of in that situation. I was looking for a segue to try and get out of that situation. I couldn't think of anything. I was trying so hard to get out of that, and I
Yeah.
couldn't. I was like, oh shit. But what do you say, man? I was like, you can't.
Well, like I
Not
said,
all
at
the
the same
time can you come
time,
up with something on the spot.
yeah. Not only that, like at the time too, I just 100% was not understanding that she had a boyfriend. You know what I mean? So like, because like
Yeah.
when I looked around at everybody, I was like, in my head the whole time, I was like, I think she's flirting with me, but maybe it is what it is. You know what I mean?
So you didn't even know. See,
At that
by
point,
that
no.
point,
That's why I
by
was
that point,
flexing, bro. I was flexing. I took the whole jar out and everything. Like I was stunting on everybody.
oh shit, yeah. By that
I
point,
was flexing.
I think I had an inkling that they were not siblings, which is why I was very uncomfortable when that happened. And you were uncomfortable, but you weren't at the state everybody else was. I
Because
was
when
like,
I saw everybody
oh,
else's faces is when it like shit was hitting me that this is not normal. You know what I mean? And that's when I was like, pause. I was like, something's going on, and I'm not informed.
yeah. Bro, there was no way I could just inform you right then and there. I
No, there's
couldn't.
no way for you to in front of everybody. But hey, yo, Christian, can I talk to you?
Christian, you mind just taking a step out of the circle real quick?
While she's like a
After,
puppy on my left thigh, like
yeah,
I was
and
like,
in saying that, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck do I do now? Like, but
bro, if you let
yes,
me die, I'd have been pissed.
nah, bro, I wouldn't let you die. Hell no, I would definitely try my best, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up dying with you.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, that was not a confident way to say it.
Nah, well, it's fucking was it 6 against 2? Six
They
against
were all
two.
pretty big boys. That one kid, the guy's brother.
So it's basically yeah. So 2 against 6. You gotta reduce it. That's 1/3. We have a 33 1/3% chance of surviving or winning that fight, I should say.
Yeah. So it
Okay.
wasn't happening.
Yeah. But we got out of it anyway. Yeah, that was yeah uncomfortable. That was an uncomfortable part of the night.
And then everybody else went to bed not long after that because like I said they left probably 30 minutes later and the owners went to bed.
Yeah.
And the craziest part was I went to go take a leak at one point. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I didn't realize that the people who own the house had children upstairs.
Mm.
I didn't know that until I went to go pee. And I ended up going to the bathroom upstairs instead of outside for some reason. And I went upstairs and I saw like mad bedrooms. And then went into the bathroom. When I came out the bathroom, a couple of the bedroom doors like opened up, and it was just like children. And I was like what's popping? Like,
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Uncle Sneaky. I'm here. Where the bathroom
pretty much. No,
at?
I came out the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I made too much noise in there or what, but I just took a leak and came out. That was it. But they all popped out. I was like, damn, I'm being jumped by these like. One kid looked like he was a little bit older, but the rest of them were pretty young.
About to go take a piss. Get ready to go to sleep. And you're just gonna get jumped by a bunch of high schoolers.
That's what I'm saying, a bunch of children. I was like, bro, this sucks.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, did y'all know it was his girlfriend? Bro, I had no idea. Chill.
So my fault. My fault. My fault.
But
No.
yeah, when we woke, I remember we all ended up going to bed, and the night was pretty boring from there on. But when we woke up in the morning, well, I woke up. I was on a couch laying down in the basement, and Isaiah was in like a comfy chair, and he fell asleep there. And I could hear the owners arguing, the couple, and the dude was chill. He was like, "No, I was like, let's let them stay. It is what it is." And she was like, "No, they're adults. They gotta learn how to do adult shit, this and that, whatever." And I was like, "Are we being kicked out?" I was like, "Fuck, bro." I was like, "This sucks."
Yeah, I didn't
Got
know
a
any of this was going on.
got a
I was sleeping
fucking
peacefully.
got a solid 4 hours of sleep. I was like, I want to die.
Yeah.
And while they're arguing, I can hear him saying that, hear him saying that. And she ended up making breakfast. And at one point, she came downstairs when I fell back asleep, and she woke me up. Well, because I was like half asleep, and I heard someone talking. And I hear, you probably can't hear me, but I made you breakfast, this and that. And I was like, woke up because like, okay, they're definitely talking to me. look up and it's the wife, and she was like, she had two breakfast sandwiches. And she was like, "Hey, I made you guys breakfast sandwiches, whatever, this and that." And I was like, "Oh, cool, thank you." And she was like, "Yep." And I was like, "I'll eat those." And like, we wake up. She's like, "Yeah, yeah, that's fine." Because at first she came downstairs. Actually, before I went back to bed, she came downstairs and asked if we wanted breakfast. And at first she asked, like, "Hey, do you want breakfast?" I was like, "No, no, no, we're straight." He doesn't usually eat in the morning either, and I don't either. And
Right.
she was like,
Which
"Okay,
I don't.
well, yeah." And I was just hungover, so I was like, "I'm good on that." I'm fast.
Yeah, for the most part, I usually don't eat.
And she was like, "Okay, well, in this house we eat breakfast in the morning, so I'm gonna make you guys breakfast sandwiches." And I was like, "Gang, all right."
Oh, word? All right, well, still,
And
all
I
right.
just went back. I just fell back asleep, but I was only like half asleep when she finished them. That's when she came down with them and was saying that. And then they argued a little bit more after that, and they left at one point. And I don't remember them leaving, but I remember hearing her talk to him about it, and that's what made me know like they're about to head out, and we have to leave. That's why when you finally woke up, I was like, "Bro, we should probably head out like hella soon."
Yeah, it wasn't long after I woke up. Well, because when I first woke up, you were just laying there with your eyes closed. I didn't know you weren't asleep, but I
Mm,
saw the breakfast sandwiches because you hadn't eaten you hadn't even touched yours, so the plate wasn't touched.
absolutely not.
And I was just kind of laying there, getting where I'm at, what's going on, and that's when I woke up. I was like, "Yo," like, "What's good?" And then we ended up eating the sandwiches. All right, did you eat yours? I remember I ate mine.
I ate like 3/4 of mine, but when we were in the gas station, because I remember I went to throw it away before we left the house.
Right.
And I had like half of it left. And you were like, "No, fucking finish that," or something like that. And you were like, "I don't want her to see you threw it away." You said something like that.
Oh yeah, dude.
And I was
Oh
like,
my gosh, I
"True.
remember
All
because
right.
I didn't want to like be disrespectful,
Yeah.
kind of a deal. And I know you don't like to eat when you wake up,
Nah."
which is the same with me. But like, I first of all, that breakfast slapped.
It was good as
It
hell.
was
I'm
yeah,
not gonna front.
it was good. It was just like a little English muffin sandwich kind of a deal.
Yeah,
And
bacon and egg.
yeah, I ate it. It was good. And he ate part of his, and I was like, please don't throw that away. Like, dude, after letting them, just they let us do all this stuff, like stay in the house, and then actually my coworker had left to go golfing with his dad, so we were just left there,
Yeah, because she
basically,
said that to me at one point. She straight
basically
up
strangers to them.
when when she came down the first time about the breakfast, she was talking to me. She was, "Yeah, Andy left you guys." And in my head, I was like, "We didn't ride here with Andy, so how did he leave us?" In my head, I was like, so I think I said something to her like, "No, Isaiah has his car." Because I'm
Right.
just waking up, so I'm still trying to process everything. And she's like, "Andy left you," and I was like, "Fuck."
Are we walking about? No.
So then I was like, "No, Isaiah's got his car." She was, "No, no, no," but Andy left, and I was like, "Okay." And I've been at okay, this is gonna sound really weird, but I've been at strangers' houses too much to the point where I can get comfortable pretty fast. So when she said that he left us, I didn't realize she meant that he left us because they're strangers to us. I thought she meant he left us like we don't have a ride. So when I was like, "No, Isaiah's driving," my brain was like, "Everything's chill, everything's still cool," because I'm just chilling. We have a way home, dude. Like, don't even sweat it. And she was like, "No, no, but Andy left you guys." I was like, "Okay, yeah, Andy left us, bro.
Well, fuck.
Like, what do you want?
Actually,
What do you?
that was the first thing I looked at when I woke up before I woke you up.
What's his
Like I
truck?"
said, yeah, because his truck was parked in front of the first half window. I could see the tailgate of his truck in the first half
Oh,
window.
that's right.
And when I woke up, it wasn't there. And I was like, fuck. Like, I had my own car, but I kind of, excuse me, I gotta sneeze real quick.
Bless
Thank you. Yeah, so that was the first thing, because I was like, fuck. Like, it's gonna be kind of weird going and telling him, like, hey, bye, without the person that invited me. So, um, yeah, that was the first thing that I saw. But anyway, yeah, we ate those breakfast sandwiches. And we actually ended up leaving a note on the back of a receipt
you.
that we had had. I was like, bro, we gotta like say thank you or something because they weren't in the house.
No, they did.
Yeah, the owners of the house were not in the house. They were nice enough to let us sleep, and then
Which
I had
is
taken
also crazy because you're letting two strangers sleep in your house while you're not there. Like,
yeah. So they were gone, and I had wrote on the back of the receipt, thank you for letting us stay the night. It was fun. And I think I had said something else. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, that we had left something. We had left something somewhere. I think I can't remember what it was. Maybe like a key or whatever, or lock the door. I can't remember. But anyway, so we leave that there, and then we just get in the car and we head out. And
Yeah, I remember
that was
because when
that.
we were at the gas station, I still had like a quarter of the sandwich left, and I didn't see this old pickup pulling up next to us. And when you ran inside, I was like, "Fuck, I ain't finishing this shit," and just tossed it out the window.
Yeah.
As I tossed it out the window, I heard like the and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" And I threw it pretty much like direct. It almost hit the hood of the car that was the truck that was pulling in. And as I threw it, I heard it, and I looked, and I could like watch it fly through the air, about to hit the truck, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "God damn it!" Just trying to feed the birds. And then when he got out of his truck, he was just looking at me in your car, and I was just chilling, and I was like, "How's it going?"
Bro, not today, please. Not today.
Just looking dead. I was like,
It
"Bro,
was it
popping."
was pretty. What time was it? It was kind of early. I
It's
know it
probably like
wasn't like 6
9 o'clock,
o'clock early, but it was, yeah, it was 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock at the least.
but we went to bed at like 3:30,
Yeah,
and we had to drive. Damn, you had to drive an hour and a half.
bro, that was the longest. Low key, I started getting dry mouth every once in a while.
Yeah,
I
because
was
you
got
stopped and got a Gatorade, and you pounded it.
Yeah, dude. I was not. I was fine. I was fine when I first woke up. Ate the sandwich. It felt good, and then every once in a while, I would just kind of get dry mouth, and
Mm.
I was like, "Fuck, this is trash, dude." I gotta drive all the way back, and then I had to drive you home after we got here.
Yeah,
So that's another half an hour. Then, oh, well, 20 minutes there and then 20 minutes back. And I was beat.
yeah, I bet.
We definitely got the most out of us that weekend for sure.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was. We never really talked about this, but do you think, like, was it worth it?
Yeah, I think it was worth it. It was fun. It
I
was
think it was.
like it was worth it because of how late everybody as a whole stayed up. Like if we had showed up and it was just me, you, and Andy for like the whole night, then it would have
Right.
been like kind of weird. But since everybody was up until like 3 in the morning, then it was cool because when we showed up, there was still plenty of time to hang out and chill.
Oh shit, yeah. I mean, there was still people talking and everything, but
Yeah,
like you said, we showed up at like about midnight, a little after midnight. So I wouldn't really expected people to be asleep quite yet. But then again, around 1:30 is when people start to go to bed. So it was cool that they stayed up with us.
yeah. I think
But
that's one of the questions you asked him was like how late they plan on staying up.
that was a key question, because actually I had already asked him, but then you were like, "Well, it's already like it's almost 11 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock." And you're like, "So how late are they going to be up?" So that was a key question for me. And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Like just come over. We'll be up. We're just kind of getting started or whatever." So I was like, "All right." So, but and at the end, I mean, yeah, left him a note. Got a hold of my coworker. Everything was cool. Left on good terms, and that was pretty much that. That was that a Saturday? Or was that a Friday?
It was a Friday night into Saturday. Yeah, but this morning, what we mentioned in the beginning, uh, I was on my way to work and it barely snowed at that. You know what I mean? Like it was just like a what is it, a dusting?
I was actually just talking about it earlier. I would say it's an extreme dusting, if you will, but I wouldn't really call it snow either.
Yeah.
You know.
But I was on my way to work and there's this one spot that turns from a 50 to a 35 and it's got like turns and shit. But I take this route every day because I go to work every day, so. And usually when I get to the spot where it switches from a 50 to a 35, I'll brake a little bit and then just let off the gas and brake. And usually you can coast through most of that 35 without touching any of your pedals. And you think you'll end up going like 30. Oh, it's a 30 mile an hour zone. And I was probably going 35 when everything happened, but um, yeah, you can usually coast, and by the time you reach like the spot where it starts to go back uphill, is when you got to start gassing it again. But you can usually coast through there and save gas. And
Hmm.
I was going through there today, and out of nowhere, my car just like the ass end swung out to the right because I was turning. It was a left turn, and the car swung out, and I was like, "Fuck!" And I went to just correct it. Like, obviously, living in New England and anywhere where it snows, you get used to like your car slides out once in a while. But it was just so unexpected this morning because it really wasn't anything on the road. And
Right. Definitely wasn't anticipated. Mind you,
no,
neither of us knew it was supposed to snow at all.
yeah,
I don't think anybody did really. I didn't talk to anyone that was like, "Oh,
yeah,
by the
nobody
way."
even told me. Yeah, which granted, I should probably watch the weather, but I didn't.
Right.
But yeah. So I take that happens, and I try to correct it. But as you're going, there's like another turn that's going to be coming up. So as I was trying to correct it, I was like, as I get this car spun back forward, I got to turn like a little bit extra more just to make sure I'm going in the right direction to go around that turn. And when I did, I counter steered pretty much for too long, and it spun the car around in a circle. And at that point, I just lost control of it. I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm not. There's no saving this one. I was like, there's no going back.
Right. Especially when it comes to ice.
Yeah. What's the thing is like, some of my coworkers are like, maybe you hit black ice underneath the small bit of snow and you just couldn't see it because there was that light snow on top. Because
Hmm.
they said they saw some ice out in the middle of town, so I was like, maybe, but I don't know. I didn't see it. But like he said, there's snow on top too, so I might not just seen the ice. It is what it is. But um, yeah. So then the car spun around. I didn't notice it at the time because I'm in the car and everything happened so fast
Right.
that the first things I noticed was the guardrail and these rocks behind me. Because I was like, I can't hit either of these. That's gonna fucking hurt. So I
Right.
was like, tried to just stay on pavement as much as I could, but the back tires ended up catching some of the shoulder because I was sideways on the road. So my back tires catch the shoulder on my side of the road, and obviously that dirt and everything just pulls you in, especially when you already don't have any control. But like I
Hmm.
said, I didn't realize it till I went back there after work that it actually one of the spots I went into, it actually drops in and comes back out right where those rocks are. Because I just barely missed these rocks by like fucking probably 2 feet, a foot.
Oh, is that the video you sent me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that one.
Yeah, and you can see the tire tracks where they go through.
Yeah, I saw the tracks. I was like, damn. Hey, I mean, you had a little bit of wiggle room there, but you were still pretty close though for going 40 miles an hour.
30, 30. I was probably closer to 35, but yeah.
Oh well. Either
And
way, I was like,
either way,
well,
yeah. But
you
when you're
know,
going sideways and it's 6 o'clock in the morning,
yeah,
after you
yeah,
just did a 360, like you don't even know what the fuck you're thinking. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Well, your
I
mind's all
just,
over the place.
yeah. So I
Is the
was just,
car okay? Am I okay? Did I hit anything? Hit anybody?
yeah. So
You're
I
just
was
saying a
just
bunch of.
gassing it pretty much to, because like I said, my ascent's facing the rocks right now, and I'm heading in that direction, sort of. So I just gassed it, and it's front wheel drive, the Acura. So I was just trying to keep it on pavement, like trying to get pull that way. And I don't know if it helped or not, but I didn't hit the rocks, so God bless.
Right.
But
Well, I'm sure it did help. Anything really?
yeah. But then I ended up sliding, and when I was sliding, I started to go up this guy's driveway. It's like a dirt driveway that goes up a hill. And I started to go up his driveway with the whole car on the driveway, but I came in at an angle that wasn't like lined up with the driveway. So for the start of it, I was actually on his driveway. And then my first front tire fell off of it and it just dragged the whole car. So now I'm like teetering on this bank and it just took out all the dirt and everything else that was on the bank of his driveway. And then that ended up stopping the car. So I didn't go any further than that, but definitely shook me for like the next 30 minutes thinking about it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I
Like I said,
definitely
like if the
understand.
car like had just kicked out and fishtailed or whatever, it would have been fine.
Right.
But once it spun around, I was like, I'm fucked. Like I was like, I'm not saving this one.
Yeah, there's really not much you can do in that situation either.
No, you have 4,000 pounds spinning in a circle at 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, definitely not.
I was just more or less glad that I was the only one on the road in that area at the time. and so I didn't hurt anybody else, didn't hurt myself or nothing. But
Yeah, that was kind of the first things that I thought of.
yeah, because like I
Was
said,
that I was
when I
like,
spun out,
well, there's
I
other
was
people that are on that road, but
yeah,
you
and I
didn't
was
mention
all over the
anybody else.
place.
You didn't mention anyone else being there. I was like, well,
Yeah,
fuck, dude. At least you didn't hit anybody. At least nobody was coming, man.
yeah, no, because
You know.
if somebody else had come through there, they probably would have got hit because either I would have hit them or they would have hit me just because I would have went in front of them, you know.
Right.
But yeah, because after it happened, there was still that dusting on the ground, so I looked back and could see my tire marks like through the snow.
Shit was all over the place.
Well, it was like you could see my clear path from that first turn, and then from on there, and I was like, damn, like I did it not to like pat myself on the back, but up until the point that it like spun out, I was in the middle of the road, like not in my lane, like in the middle of the road, because I was just avoiding everything else. And like I said, there was nobody else on the road, so I was like, I'm gonna just chill here.
Right.
And up until it spun out, I was like dead center of the road, pretty much like on the pavement. And then once it spun out, you see me slowly start to get closer to my side of the road, and then closer and closer, and then the shoulder, and then that dude's driveway. Which thank
Yeah.
God his driveway was there, because if his driveway wasn't, I don't even know.
Where you end up at?
Yeah, because that either would be a ditch or it would be where those rocks continue out, you know?
Right. Right.
So it was definitely like a crazy experience to have at, like I said, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That
For
shit
sure, dude.
sucked. And like I
Yeah.
said, like with all the stupid shit I've done driving too, you know what I mean? Like just being young and not really thinking.
Right. Sense of adventure, bro.
How does the one time something like that, like something crazy happened? I'm just trying to get to work, like not driving crazy or anything, just literally coasting at the time actually, because I wasn't touching any pedal. So it's like,
Right.
what are the odds that fucking that's
It
the time
happens.
something
It
happens? Yeah,
happens then. Right. Right.
like when you got your ticket for going what 40 miles an hour.
Bro, I forgot about that. I was going 40 and what
25.
was it? A 25. Mind you, this road it should be easily a 35. Guys, I have gone 155 miles an hour before on the interstate, and I'm not scared of speed that much at all. But on this particular day, it was a nice day. It was me, Christian, and my little brother on the way to a restaurant, actually right by where his little spin out
Yeah,
was.
actually damn near like a minute away.
Like a minute away from where his incident happened. And I get pulled over going 40 in a 25, and I get my first ticket. Mind you, I've been pulled over, and like Christian can vouch for this, many people can vouch for this. I've been pulled over more than 20 times and been let off with a warning since
Every
I've been
fucking
driving.
time.
Now, in saying that, 40 miles an hour. I never would have thought I'd get a ticket for going 40 miles an hour. But
Yeah.
that's basically all that was anyway. It's not a huge story. I was just going 40. I was technically speeding, but whatever. Suck my dick, bro. That was 40
Yeah,
25.
that's the thing. Is just like, what are the odds, you know?
Yeah. Fucking sucks. But it is what it is.
For sure. All right,
What do we got for time?
like 57, 58.
Yeah, 58. All right.
Yeah,
My
so
phone.
like as I said in the beginning, we're gonna start recording regularly on Wednesdays and Sundays and have an actual schedule. So it's not
Yes,
just
sir.
kind of like a whenever we upload kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to get shit out. We're just having so many issues with
I'll
like
record.
our well not only that, it's just like the recordings have been going perfect and like we're definitely getting a lot more comfortable doing this shit, but it's just like trying to get the apps and stuff to work to edit it and post it
Right.
keeps crashing and I don't know if it's something with them or what because it's doing it on my PC and my phone. So I don't know.
And it did it on my phone too. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't get in either. But
Yes, I don't know what the hell is up with it, but hopefully this one will upload and we'll have it out for you guys. And
Yep.
we mentioned it in the last one, but it didn't work. We also are gonna start being able to upload gaming and shit like that soon to the YouTube and everything. We just got video editors and shit like that. So hopefully soon we'll have stuff to be putting out there.
Yep. Some good
I think we have
gaming content.
Yeah, I think we have one video on the YouTube right now, and it's just the Vegas trip.
Yep. Yep.
So if you guys haven't seen that yet, check it out.
Go check it out. Subscribe and leave a like. Also, don't forget to turn that bell on. Hit that bell so you can get notifications every time we upload.
It feels weird.
What's
I
that?
said it feels weird having to say that. Like it's like a
Retention status.
I know, but it's like a I don't know what to call it, but it's just weird. Something where I'm not used to. I'm used to being on the other end of that.
Right. Kind of a oh yeah, I had the word too. Shit. Oh damn. Kind of a I don't know. I don't know. Change of pace, I guess. Something like that. I don't know. But that was and is Northeast Kingdom.
Yes, sir.
And that was our Wednesday. That was our story for tonight. To end it off, you got me, Isaiah, otherwise known as Reacts RK, and my boy Christian, otherwise known as
Sneaky baby.
And that's our story. I'd say that was a wrap.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all Sunday.
Shout out to homie Peace Soul letting us use his music for these outros. Much love. Everybody go follow him on YouTube.
I'ma try to keep it low key. Yeah. You don't really even know me. Yeah. I'ma try to keep it PG. Yeah. But you was my one and only. I'ma try to keep it low key. Yeah. You don't really even know me. Yeah. I'ma try to keep it PG. Yeah. But you was my one and only.